Okay, welcome back, guys, to my channel. I'm your host, Tamak, on the Authentic Photography YouTube channel. Here we go. We have some pics here. We had to choose, right? All right, so we could start with this one. All right, so I'm in Lightroom here. What I do to follow along, right? So you can do as I do while I edit. Transformation to auto. In this backspace, so before and after, not much we doing. Auto on the white balance. I don't like that. I like the shot from before, right? We could crop this out immediately. Right? There we go. File, export, choose a location on your computer where you'd like to put it. Right? I would like to put it in the right. Select here, file settings, TIFF. Don't forget that. Image, uncheck, resize to fit. Right. No logo right now. We put any logo after, so everything else is supposed to be good to go. Once it's stiff, all right. Export. And we are going to open this in Photoshop. But first, I'm going online, right? Authentic photography. Let's see. Cake. Lovely. Because she's holding out her hand. So you know what she'll be doing, right? She will be holding a cake. So we're going to put a cake in this person's hand right now. I need a cake that is facing the camera. This looks so good. I need the angle to be forward like this. Alright. And I like the plate there, so we'll save this image, right? Okay, we can't save it. Alright, so we could open it up. Oh, that's a save. Save image. So web files you can't save, right? That's too bad. We will get a better cake. And we save this one, save as JPEG, PNG, we could work with those, right? So let's go into Photoshop now, right? It's not magic. It's knowing how to work a system, algorithms, science, those base stuff, right? File. Right, so I was working on another project. I'm an editor for someone else, right? So file, Photoshop, you know, giving me a little dingy langy. Open. We're going into downloads. Opening this cake here. Alright. We're opening this cake here, right? Now it looks good now. Control and J to create a duplicate because I want the biggest image, the biggest size I can get this image, right? So image size, resolution 300. What we're doing is we're making this larger. We will be dialing this down to 4K, 3840. I should have linked everything. So make sure everything is linked. Alright. With I'm maybe going a little fast, I can slow it down. 3840 because I'm pressing time. Right? And that's what we get for now, okay? So it's gonna expand it without having like unwanted pixels on top. So this is it zoomed in, guys. This is the image. Now let's resize it to the screen. So this is huge. Alright, go to crop 5 by 4 up here, and that's what I want. This is it. Detail. Alright. So this is one of the images that we're going to be using in the replacing a cake or inputting a cake, right, in midair. No cake. Before and after will be cake, no cake, right? Right. So I'm gonna just use this image here. So you put in this cake in her hands here, right? While like the white part here is that her hands could actually, if I press V, move it across here, right? Resize this so it's big, nice and big. And we'll put this cake right in her hands here. Right, we will do that. Okay. However, that is not the first thing we want to do, right? So we have the person here. So you click in Control and J. There are a lot more things we could work on, as in the marks on the stomach, the marks on the wall, the skin, right? Let's do some liquify. Alright. Just a beauty shot here. Alright, so we want to expand the stomach and her physique, right? So you take our time and work on the client using the liquify tool, right? And we could enlarge on the stomach. So to make the person look like they're 9 months and they're ready to give birth to the child immediately. Right? Best thing to do is to study how people look. So you have to study or know how a pregnant woman looks. Alright? So we could emphasize though on her dress and make it even more glamorous. Because they didn't come by us for no reason, right? They came to be nice. So there's before and after. Right. Pay attention to a lot of details here. Let's crop this for Instagram size 4 by 5. That's the area of space you're gonna be working on. Alright? Then brush. So we know what to edit from what not to edit, right? And let's start with the blemishes. On a new layer, select the spot healing brush. Normal, right? Content aware fill. And we're going in. Taking our time. So there are lots of blemishes, right? This area we can speed up, but I will be taking my time to go through removing the blemishes. All right. So while you all watch me clean the skin, don't forget to like and subscribe for more. Right, so now finish here. Control Shift Alt underneath everything. Switch off the ones in the middle before and after. Look at the stomach area with the dark, and we cleared it up, right? Drinking some coffee here, guys. Let's go. So what we want to do now is actually create two more duplicates, group them, Control Shift to hold the second one, Control and J to put them in a group. Alright. I'm gonna make a shortcut file, edit, key shortcuts. I'm going to filter, blur, not this blur, but Gaussian blur, Control and the more than sign. It's okay. Right, so it works. What I'm gonna do is clear up the skins and even the tones a little more, right? Well, before I do that, I turn Control and plus to get the shortcut we now created, which is the Gaussian blur. I put at 5.8. That's good to go there. And image size. Oh, my bad. Image. Apply image to layer 4 copy, right? Then hit subtract. This would be already set. Don't adjust these, right? Turn this layer to linear light, right? Now we're gonna work on it. So let's get the lasso to feather 32%, right? So watch how we're going on the stomach here now. Gonna feather this area. This half, right? Control and Gaussian blur. So we can play with the blurriness. Carry it straight down and easily carry it up to see what works best. Right, so 31 may be good before and after, right? So you could zoom out, and 31 gives you that clean stomach. Wap wap. Clean there, right? So let's head over to this little trouble area here. And hit Control and then right. So 31 is a bit too much now, right? So what we could do, we could put this to 21. So we have cleared up that stomach area, right? Now, there may be some parts that might be darker and lighter. We'll fix that when we do something called dodge and burn, right? So now we are on the leg. Not all areas will be the same, and it depends on how much you want to show, reveal, clean up. So hit this like a 28, and this evens off that dark portion of her leg, right? It's no longer that dark, right? Alright, so before and after, everything is cleaned up. So that might have been looking like we had areas to do. It wasn't hard. We just have to know the formula and what works and apply what works. So here it could be like 7, right? We don't want to blur it too much and it spills over into the wall and stuff, right? Alright guys, and we're back. Now, this is the after frequency separation and cleaning the skin and liquefying. This is the before and this is the after. Before and after, right? So, it looks good to me. Let's go and do some dodge and burn. So you open up our curves layer and brighten it. This will be the brightest part of our picture. Hold Control and I. This will be dodge, letter I, right? And then open a new one, curves. So the darkest areas of the picture, right? Control and I. And what happens with frequency separation, right? You may lose a bit of color and you may get some grayness in areas you don't want grayness, quote unquote, right? So, dodge and burn, we could do a lot of things. You could brighten eyes, you could brighten the nails and emphasize on parts of the area that is the stomach that is bright, and with the burn parts, we emphasize parts that are dark. So I'm going to put this at 30% opacity and make sure the color is white, right, on this black layer, and we're painting on this black layer with white here, and we slowly bringing back the area of the stomach there. So I'm just doing this for exaggeration's sake. So we want to see that slit line, right? Now it's too much and it's broad, so I just did it for edifying purposes. So now I'm gonna create a brush even smaller. Alright, carry this down to 14% and start there. Alright, release the mouse. Don't hold the mouse and go straight down, right? And we continue going here. Release the mouse. You don't undo the whole line if you make a mistake, right? And then we go again. Release the mouse or the pen tool, release it. And go again, right? So let's zoom out. And we get that nice line. Alright? That is the line that we want to emphasize the line that was there before but was grayed out, because, you know, it's correcting everything. And certain areas was too dark, certain areas was too bright. So we now evening out everything, right? Let's go. So look at it here. We're gonna follow the hair, right? It burned 30% and paint on that area there. As a matter of fact, we could go even higher. It's 70. Right? That's so strong. So let's go back to 35. Make sure the color is white. And you paint on those areas that have little spaces. Simple strokes. Right? Right, now there are areas where, you know, it's a little thinner. And we don't want to see the spaces through, right? So it must look uniform. Alright, so we could pass over all these bright strands here too. Or we could remove them one by one, right? But one by one isn't the method we're going to use now, right? So you need the fastest way to do this. Right? So before and after, you see, uniform, neat. Alright? Then we dial this down a little bit if you need. Alright, so I'm zooming in and out because I'm watching. Then I'm going to dodge. And I'm going to put in and emphasize the highlight that is in here. That is there already. Alright. That looks beautiful. Nice. So playing with the dodge and burn, shadows and lights gives the pop to the hair. Right? There's also some here on the side here. Excuse me. Now we could use the burn tool and with the same darkness kind of, you know, neaten up everywhere else. Those strands here, some light or certainly loose strands. Get a little burn on the ends here, but it wasn't that bright, right? The dialer down to 10 and start to, rush it close to the light now highlighted areas to give it that more organic look before and after. So we didn't do anything with it here. The fastest way to neatness was dodge and burn. Neat here, right? What I also do too is burn. Hit this like about 80. Just paint here and cover the selection here, right? Come with a little dodge and brighten up these corners here. Right, so the picture has to look good from the outside, right? Keep playing with the percentages of the dodge and burn to get the desired look. Zooming out is very good too. So that's the hair, we covered the hair already. Right? Now let's go to the body. There's already light beam sitting here, so we turn burn, we're going with 10%. And let's watch your hands now. So we burn in the areas on the hands along the edges, right? And also, if you study anatomy, it will be a benefit to you. When you come to edit, you'll know the structure of where light hits the body, all right? This is before and after. Nice. So before and after. Now, we could burn somewhere on the stomach. The edges especially. And the center part is where we'll have the light, right? Just bringing back that 3D effect, 3D color of the stomach. Also the leg area, we could come down. And there's a muscle that separates the thigh, right? So put it like 0.4, 4%. Start mid there. Span. And keep going just like that. So it adds that darkness there, right? So we're going in with a thinner one for the highlight. So you get the gist. So I'm gonna speed up this part here. Guys, so we're holding control. So before and after. Before and after. What we're gonna do now is start to work on this cake scene, right? So let's go back to the actual cake, right? We're gonna select subject. And the Photoshop AI will select the subject, right? So we are here to assist it. Now we may not be able to use this image. We may have to download another one. Because we would want the tray cut out. If you understand. So Control and J, you can see right here. take off the background, the tray is cut out. So we could just easily simply go for another cake. So the whole plate is there, right? That's what we need. JPEG again. So we go to File, Open, Downloads, you use this cake. So we don't want this one anymore, right? Gonna use this one. Now, I like this cake, but image size 3840. Make this cake a little bigger, shall we? Alright. Select subject. So the subject is the entirety of the plate as well. It must have a plate to give it the realism feel. How could you hold half of a plate? You can't hold half of a plate, right? Right? And then we go to expand. It's like about 2 pixels, and I could expand it some more to cover the edges, right? Control and J, take off the background. There's our cake. V on the keyboard, move that cake. Shade across here. Yes. Okay, they will adjust, right? We enlarging the cake, so we have much more detail, right? So she has strong hands. Bam! Right there. Now, if the cake is cut off because of the image here, no problem, right? Now, the size of the cake may be a bit too big. Plate also too big. You know, there aren't plates that size, like humongous, you know. What you could do is you could adjust and shift and see. Right? Hold Control and T. To click on perspective. Alright, so you see how the perspective works, right? Control and Z. Alright, so you can straighten the cake. Cake was really better. You put the arrows to the end, and they'll show you what they could do. Could work on this picture, right? So levels. The white on this plate could have come up a little more. Right? And also a little blue. Okay. Also a little blue, right? Like about 7 or 8. No, 4. Right? So what we're doing now with this blue, we should make this a smart object first. So you could adjust the blur as you please, right? Now we hit the blur. Okay. Now I could adjust the blur freely, right? And I don't want the blur on the cake itself, but more of the plate itself. Alright? Now it still looks a bit big, so you can continue to adjust it from here to here. The merges. Right? Control T. Alright. It's starting to look more realistic. It just needs to soak in a little bit. Right? Now, the thing that doesn't make it match is the colors. Right? So what we're gonna do here now, play with the colors, right? So we are attacking, well, we are targeting the skin, right? So there's a bit of greens in it, so we want to bring out the reds, right? And the yellows. So skin tone is in the yellows, right? And we could go to the neutrals. So we want it more on this side. Nice. Now let's work on the blacks. Now, what I need to do is also put a shadow of the cake on the wall, but we'll be separating the subject from the wall as well. So this helps blend a lot more. The plate is the only issue, really and truly, right? What we're gonna do also is go to the magentas and play with them a little more. And this is for the cake. Right? I'm gonna hit X, Control and backspace. That is to put it on the cake alone. Alright? Before and after. Right. Now let us go to levels and just darken this a bit. Right? Control and J. And we're working on the plate. Alright, so I just got an idea where the subject is, right? I want 2 more layers. Take off the top. The one in the middle, we hit in subject again. Then we hit the selection tool and help the AI in Photoshop select the areas that we want. Alright? It did a pretty good job though. Yeah, it really did. Alright. Expand. It's 7. Alright. Then we go to edit. Content aware fill. It's okay. So what we're doing now, that is the background that we are fixing there. Alright. We'll wait for it to load. Nice. I'll speed up those things. So you're going on the top layer, selecting it, hitting the layer mask, and you see there's a selection with the cake, right? So you're taking off everything else. And there she is holding the cake, right, on her own layer. We go to filter, other, minimize. And what we're minimizing this to is 8. Alright? Before and after. Before and after. Right? So also, why did we minimize it to 8? To get all the edges corrected, right? Now come across here and I notice that some of the hair was gone, right? So we could go to the paintbrush and paint it back on, right? Hit 0 and actually paint it back on. Or you can do the whole selection over, but it's just here. So it's not much of a fuss. Alright? Now, with the background selected, we're going to do our blur. And I'm going to hit like about 35. Actually, we can make it 65. Right? On our layer here, I'm going to select this color. And I'm going to paint right here. This is to represent the cake, right? And she comes here. That's the shadow of the cake. I'm going to blur that out to like about 65. Right? Hit Control and T on that shadow. And now I can move the shadow, right? This could be anywhere. So we can make it smaller or larger, right? Hit center it and all. So it gives more of a feel like, alright, the cake is there, right? You can play the opacity, how much you want the shadow to show, right? Now, the shadow is a bit too high because the light isn't supposed to be on top, right? So you now percentage of 40 and brushing on the shadow itself. It's not supposed to be that high. It's supposed to be high. Right? We go to the next layer and we just come in at the bottom here and we're hitting on the shadow here. So it gives it that feel of realism, right? Right, so she's holding the cake there. Now what we can do is we blur the background before and after, right? Is we create a layer mask and I actually want to paint a little bit of gray on the edge here. It's a bit too bright. And you control how bright it is. So it's like a little shadow on the plate. It must look real. It must look like part of the picture, right? We're going to as the background there. What we could do is put a big light here. So we hit another layer, go to the colors, go to 2. I'll use 2. Linear dodge out. Control and T. And I could control this light source here, right? Now if we expand it and the rays shower them both, we get a merging effect. It come like I'm bringing the sunlight into the picture, or light, right? Right? Could be a little too much, right? So what we're hitting now is Control and U. Bringing up this color a bit. Actually, we're just choosing how we want that light source to look. So that could be a little bit on that pink side. Now it's a nice light source, but we have to drop the opacity to like about 35. Or we could have it at like 65. Alright, that looks good to me. Right? It's all about blending, guys. So now we could merge all the layers, right? And from layer 15 to background copy, we could group and put it in a group, control and G to put a group. So this is the before and this is the after, right? Now we are going to use color balance. It helps merge everything. So color balance, what do we want in the shadows? I want a little red. I really want a little red in the shadows and a little bit of yellow. Oh no, we could do a little bit of blue. Looks better. And slight magenta, right? In the mid-tones, I want a little bit of red. There we go. And the yellows on them, we could leave that at 0. In the highlights, I would like a little highlights, you might do a little cyan. Right? A little blue. That's a minute, huh? Nice. Before and after, right? Now we could go to the levels. Check what our levels are looking at, right? So we could darken this part here. Bring in some shadows and a little bit of lights. Control, shift and everything. Now we creating our next layer and we liquefying once more. What we could do also, let's add a little confetti to this, right? Let's just, hey, come on, let's make this picture more beautiful, right? Confetti. To go to Pixabay, they have free stuff there. Let's check confetti in Google. Let's try this on. Save image. Oh man. It's in the same place it came. Wow! They put that logo smack that in the middle. I better have cut out that part with no logos. So let's see how oh my gosh, looks so nice. Nice. All right. Let's spread this confetti all over. Right. So this is too much, right? Right. What we could do now, just be right. So this confetti we don't want so much in front, right? So we're gonna split this image again. Right? I was gonna end it there, but no can do. So before we put on the logo, alright. Let's go back to before we put on the logo. So the logo is on a layer by itself here. Control and J, select the subject once again. I want confetti behind her and in front of her. Alright. That selection is more than good enough. Expand to like about 2. Right? Control and J. So once again, she's on her own layer. Then we bring our boy, our arm, open, confetti here. Smack that in the middle there. Right, so we put in this confetti layer behind the model, behind this layer here, and expand it, right? And then you put it on the background layer. So the confetti is behind her, right? We could blur this like 2, 3. Okay, no, like 7. That's really nice there. Now, I didn't notice it at right in here, right? Now, we don't have confetti all over, so you could put the opacity to like about 40 and start to, you know, erase the confetti where we don't want, right? So some of those words there will be coming off.